Welcome to the SmartKeys podcast. Today we're doing a deep dive into an essential resource, really looking at the transformation of the small business landscape.
It's a topic that affects almost everyone.
It really is. I mean, if you're navigating the current economy, you know the ground is shifting faster than ever for small businesses. We're looking at what it actually takes to thrive.
Right, especially with all the rapid tech shifts and, frankly, unpredictable consumer habits.
Exactly. The U.S. alone has over 30 million small businesses. So understanding the core drivers, technology, consumer behavior, market dynamics, that's the key.
That's where the potential is.
So our goal here is to really extract the strategic nuggets from this article, turning all that data into something you can actually use. What moves should you be considering right now?
What's fascinating, and what the source makes very clear, is that innovation and adaptation are, well, they're non-negotiable now.
Non-negotiable. I like that.
Yeah. The line between a small local shop and a globally connected business is just blurring completely. We're not talking about if a business needs a digital strategy anymore.
No, it's how robust does it have to be? How deep does it go?
Precisely. How robust does it have to be to compete and, just survive?
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the biggest shift we've seen. The complete digital overhaul of how businesses operate and sell. I mean, we have to start with e-commerce.
It's the foundation. E-commerce dominance isn't some future forecast. It's the air that businesses are breathing right now.
And global events just threw gasoline on that fire, didn't they? Pushing adoption years ahead of schedule.
Absolutely. And the numbers, they really underline the severity.
So the data says retail e-commerce hit over 19% of total retail sales worldwide by 2023. That's not a small slice of the pie.
No, it's almost a fifth of everything. And it's projected to hit 25%, a quarter of all retail, by 2027.
Wow.
But the real strategic piece here isn't just that sales are moving online. It's that the customer expectation has permanently changed.
That's a great point.
The research shows 71% of small to mid-sized businesses say their customers just expect online transactions now. It's the default.
So by 2023, what was it, 54% of SMB sales were already coming from online channels?
That's it. So if you're not in that space, you're missing more than half of the opportunity right out of the gate.
But this raises a question for me, one about independence. We see this explosive growth on marketplaces like Amazon or Etsy. The source notes Etsy saw a massive 62% increase in active sellers in 2020 alone. That's incredible adaptation.
It is.
But is that true strategic independence, or are you just trading a landlord for platform fees and algorithms?
That is the critical distinction to make. Look, e-commerce has undeniable advantages. Lower startup costs, convenience, a huge audience.
Sure.
The source mentioned Moore Brothers Wine Company, and they're a great example. They used online sales to get visibility far beyond their physical location.
Right.
But that reliance on platforms means you're always weighing the cost versus the benefit of that instant audience. The smart play is usually a hybrid approach.
So own your core digital storefront, but use the marketplaces for reach.
Exactly. Own your brand, own your customer data, but leverage the platforms strategically.
That makes sense. And this digital core, it goes beyond sales, right? It goes straight into how companies are built, the whole remote and hybrid work structure.
That's right, and we're still figuring that out. The source points out that 62% of small businesses report challenges managing a remote or hybrid team.
And that's a big number. That's almost 2/3.
It's a huge number.
Yeah.
And it's everything from, keeping the team culture alive to managing data security when everyone is everywhere.
So if it's such a headache, why do it? What's the strategic upside here?
Well, the payoff is twofold, and it's substantial. First, you cut your overhead costs way down, less office space, fewer utility bills.
Okay, that's the obvious one.
Right. But second, and this is maybe more important, it unlocks a global talent pool. Suddenly, a small business in Ohio can hire the absolute best specialist in their field from, say, Portugal.
That's a massive competitive advantage. That was not on the table 10 years ago.
Not at all. Which brings us to another fascinating point. If you're trying to maximize efficiency, what tools are you using? This leads right into our next area, technology.
Specifically, how businesses are using tech to overcome their biggest hurdles, which are almost always a lack of time and resources.
We're seeing what you could call an efficiency imperative. Small businesses are genuinely enthusiastic about this.
The numbers back that up. Something like 85% show enthusiasm for adopting AI and automation, especially for financial operations.
And 90% agree that automation flat out boosts efficiency.
That level of agreement is telling. But let's make a distinction here. This isn't just about the old school automation like setting up email autoresponders.
No, not at all. We're talking about generative AI.
Okay, so for someone listening who's trying to get up to speed on this, what's the real difference? What does generative AI bring to the table for a small business?
The real difference is capability. Old automation was just rules-based. It's this, then that. Generative AI can process huge amounts of unstructured data and then create something new or recommend a solution.
So it's not just following orders, it's thinking.
In a way, yes. For a small business, this means it can generate highly customized marketing copy, it can analyze thousands of customer data points, and it can give you insights on the fly.
So it's not just about saving money on a bookkeeper. It's like giving your solo marketing person the power of an entire data science team.
Exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. You get this deep customization of your marketing, which you need to stand out. And you can tailor the entire customer experience.
Which frees up the owner to work on the business, not just in the business.
That's the strategic shift. You stop firefighting and you start planning for proactive growth.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. Technology isn't just helping with operations, it's solving that other huge barrier to growth access to capital.
Yeah, innovative financing is changing the whole game.
Traditionally, getting a loan from a bank has been a massive hurdle for small businesses, right?
A huge hurdle. They often don't have the long operational history or the hard collateral that big banks require. It's a slow, frustrating process.
And that rigidity is what's fueling this rise in alternative funding. We're talking about things like crowdfunding, peer-to-peer lending, P2P, and revenue-based financing.
Right. And for the listener, P2P lending is basically just cutting out the middleman.
You're bypassing the bank.
You're connecting borrowers directly with investors. And with revenue-based financing, an investor gets a slice of your future revenue until they're paid back with a return. No giving up equity.
So the big advantages are speed and easier qualification criteria.
Much easier. And the data proves it's working. Alternative lenders have approval rates over 28% for small business loans.
Which is significantly higher than traditional banks in that same space.
It is, but you have to ask the strategic question. Why are they willing to take on that perceived risk?
And the answer is tech.
It's fintech. The research shows that AI and machine learning are getting so good at evaluating creditworthiness, they can analyze data a bank wouldn't even look at.
Like online sales history or customer reviews.
Exactly. They process it faster and with more precision than the old models. So AI isn't just writing your emails, it's fundamentally changing who gets access to capital.
That is fascinating. And of course, there's blockchain technology under the hood here for a lot of this, improving security and transparency.
It builds trust outside of that old institutional framework.
Okay, so businesses have new ways to get capital, but they're also dealing with these huge external pressures. Let's talk about navigating economic uncertainty.
The reality is tough right now. The source says over 2/3 of small businesses are seeing a surge in operational costs from inflation.
And half of them think it's going to be harder to get loans because of rising interest rates.
So what do? The resilient strategies are all about surgical efficiency.
Like just-in-time inventory management, or JIT.
Exactly. For anyone not familiar, JIT means you get your goods only as you need them. You don't keep a huge, expensive stockpile.
Which, in an inflationary world, is a huge risk. That inventory is just sitting there losing value while your capital is tied up.
Correct. It keeps you nimble. Beyond that, it's about using data analytics and AI to really protect your margins and even deal with things like workforce shortages.
It's about being proactive, not just reacting to the headlines.
You have to be. You can't survive today if you're just reacting.
It's clear that tech and finance are powerful internal levers. But the source also stresses something more foundational, something technology can't just replace.
And that's the strategic importance of community, of real local relationships.
Yeah, that really stood out to me.
Active community engagement, it fills these social and economic gaps, especially after the pandemic when so many connections were lost.
It builds a kind of loyalty that no digital ad campaign can ever buy.
Right, but it can't just be feel-good marketing. The source emphasizes that it has to be a client-centric culture that's supported by data.
So you're not guessing what the community wants.
No, you're analyzing local social media, you're looking at feedback, you're tailoring your services to what people actually want and value. You make your business indispensable.
And that focus on authenticity and trust, it flows right into modern marketing, specifically these low-cost, high-impact strategies.
The first one is obvious. Social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But the strategic upgrade now is to stop just throwing money at general ads.
And start using micro-influencers.
Exactly. Because those influencers, the ones with smaller, really engaged local followings, they just feel more authentic. It's like a neighbor recommending something.
It builds instant credibility, but I would argue the most valuable tool of all right now might be user-generated content, UGC.
Oh, absolutely. UGC is priceless. And just to be clear for our listeners, that's any content, reviews, photos, videos created by your customers, not by you.
It's powerful because it's seen as real. It's unedited.
There's a great little anecdote in the research about a pottery studio that just started reposting customer videos of their mugs being used at home.
And their sales doubled.
Within weeks. Those positive reviews, those testimonials, they leverage customer advocacy and they sway new buyers who are looking for that social proof. It's marketing that fuels itself.
It's a cycle that requires your time, not necessarily a massive budget.
And if we connect all these different threads, e-commerce, AI, finance, community, the central theme is adaptability. Businesses have to grasp that the entire landscape is changing all at once. The ones that are thriving are the ones who accept that their choices have to be proactive and informed.
And technology-focused.
Yes.
So what does this all mean for you, the professional listening to this, whether you're running a business or advising one?
I think it means you have to see e-commerce as core infrastructure, not an add-on. You have to use AI for efficiency and risk assessment.
You have to diversify your funding away from those rigid old models.
And you have to strengthen those community ties, but do it with data. This whole integrated approach is what lets you make strategic moves instead of just reacting all the time.
Success seems to be defined by staying informed and open to these trends, and maintaining that balance between, say, scaling up quickly versus preserving your company culture.
It's about not just reacting to the latest crisis.
Right. So here's the final thought I want to leave everyone with. The source says 85% of businesses are enthusiastic about adopting AI for financial operations. So if your competitors are leveraging automation right now to cut costs, free up their best people, and get better strategic insights, how quickly do you have to integrate these same tools just to hold your ground?
Forget getting ahead just to keep your current position.
Exactly. That's the strategic question of the day.
That's a powerful thought to end on.
That wraps up this strategic deep dive into the future of small business strategy.
Thank you for tuning in to the SmartKeys podcast.
If you are a learner who appreciates gaining knowledge quickly and thoroughly, make sure you subscribe to the SmartKeys podcast wherever you listen to shows.
And for those who want to review the original research and really explore the full context of these insights, you can find the link to the full article in the show notes.
Join us next time for another deep dive into the future of work and efficiency.